I was down, but I'm always gonna get back up. I'm a range, but I know I'm gonna get that truck. Done losing, I'm about to get that win.
Hey YouTube, it's me Kristianna. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to When in Doubt Pink. Hello. Welcome back to my end of the month wrap up, my thoughts and faves of the month of July. July went by fast as heck, y'all. I don't know about you. But July was fast as heck. Let's get into it. So if you're unfamiliar, I'm just gonna read off the categories so that you know exactly what we're getting into here. So we got community highlight, mental health check-in, things that brought me joy in the month of July, challenges and goals, beauty, music, books, TV shows and movies, pop culture chatter, politics, trends and internet memes, and the tea on me. We got a lot of stuff to get into, so let's just get into it. Thank you guys so much for showing a lot of love on that last, was it the last? No, it wasn't the last video. The last video when I was talking about the fact that I am not a baddie girl. I am not, like, I don't meet the baddie aesthetic, right? But I am more cute. I'm more of a cutie than a baddie. Mental health check-in. This month was a little bit rough. I don't know about you. But my insurance, without saying, you know, too much, but like my insurance for my, like, I'm a mental, let me start over. For my mental health, I am a medicated queen, right? And my insurance makes it so that I can only go to certain places to receive my medication. And actually this month I went 2 weeks without my medication, right? They're like closing up a lot of places that I can normally go to be able to do that, and it's very frustrating. And I'm actually getting kind of scared because at a certain point I'm only going to be able to get my medication online, and that's like no way to live. Like, what if there's an emergency? What if I have like an ear thing or something that I need medication right now today, you know what I mean? And I won't be able to do that because there are only certain places I can go to get my medication, and those places are becoming like inaccessible, and it's actually kind of dangerous. Like, not even just for me, but I'm sure for other people it's becoming like a dangerous situation, and it's very frustrating. So that's something I've been really dealing with, but also, like I just said, 2 weeks off of my medication because of this has made it so that I'm like all the gains and progress that I have been making in the last couple of months, it feels like I am restarting a little bit. So that's been very rough, especially because I am fully functioning in my life again. At some point I came to a halt, but I'm like fully functioning in my life again, and it's really just tough when it's like you feel like you have to start all over again for something that's out of your control. But really I've had good days, I've had bad days, I've had some really bad days, and I'm still kind of going through it, right? But I'm just super thankful to the people like in my life who just like have so much grace for me and my tudes, my little attitudes when I have them, or like the days that I just don't want to be bothered by anyone. I'm really grateful for the people who come around anyway. Things that brought me joy in the month of July. This was a good month at work, despite the fact that I am low-key like falling apart. I'm not really, I want to like stop talking like that because I do have the things that I need now, but it just was really rough this month. But I was also really killing it at work, like, and that's the thing they say about Black women is like hell could literally be freezing over and we will still make some shit shake, and it's really true. The best of times, the worst of times, like, we're gonna get through it, and no one will know the wiser. And like I said, despite difficulties, I did also have some like good times with friends and family. Like last night, my cousin and my sister came over, we watched scary movies, we like talked trash and like just hung out, drank wine, had Indian food. It was a really good time. And then I've also like had friends come over to just sit with me and just talk, and that's really my favorite. I don't always like want to go somewhere and spend a bunch of money or whatever, like sometimes just sitting and just talking is okay for me. And the fact that people were, you know, just checking in on me, coming to see what's up or hang out or whatever it was, all of that just felt really good. Baby, why don't you go find something to do? Because if I pick you up, then you will not want to be bothered. You want to say hi to the girls? Come here, say hi to all the girls. Me and baby and the baby and the cat. Me and baby the cat are still hanging in there. Look, now she want to act like she don't know nothing about nothing when she was just sitting here bothering me. Now she don't know nothing about nothing. Okay, baby the cat also brings me a lot of joy. Challenges and goals. So I because of my medication that I'm currently taking, I did have a couple switch ups a couple months ago, but like because of the current medication that I'm taking, I do have a little extra go-get that I didn't have before. This medication, for whatever reason, I don't know science, okay, gives me just a little bit more motivation, a little bit more go-get, a little bit more like oomph to want to get my ass up every day and like want to do stuff, right? And a part of that was that I started working out again, started like getting, you know, into like a little groove actually that felt really good and stuff. And between the situation with my medication and the fact that I've been traveling a lot for work lately, like a lot for work lately, it's been really hard to maintain a routine when I'm not in a routine. Like the rest of my life is not in a routine or whatever. So like trying to have like a little workout routine has been very, very difficult. And I don't like talking about this type of stuff for real, because I know I'm finna fall off, right? Like I don't talk about my body up here. I don't talk about what I'm trying to do with my body up here. Like I don't usually talk about working out and shit like that, like up here, because I know I'm finna fall off, okay? But this time I didn't actually see the fall off coming. Like sometimes I can feel the fall off coming, you know what I mean? I can tell like I don't know if I'm gonna keep this up, or like I don't feel like it or whatever. Like at this time I was really thrown off, and I think most of it was because of the traveling. And some of the places I've gone to have had like fitness centers, but then usually when I'm traveling it's like an early start time, and then I'm already tired from the traveling and like whatever. It hasn't been something I've taken advantage of, because I just be tired. I'd be tired and I will choose sleep like any day. But definitely I've been seeing that as a challenge, and my goal is to try to get back into the swing of things, at least for the next couple of weeks before I have to travel again. So just really quickly on beauty, because I only have 2 items that I wrote down. I have been in love with my Made by Mitchell products. If you know, you know, Made by Mitchell, those like curve cases and stuff, like I've been using them like heck because I really want to get good at using them. They're really just like blocks of pigment that you can use all over your face, in different parts of your face, or whether like your lips, your eyebrows, cheeks, whatever. I saw this one TikTok, the girl actually whipped up a foundation shade for her client with the palettes. Like you can literally do damn near anything with these palettes, and it's pretty cool. And then I just wrote down, I recently just tried the Black Girl Sunscreen, which I feel kind of silly for have taken this long to have tried. Really was that like I've been using the e.l.f. sunscreen for a minute, and then I wanted to be able to keep my e.l.f. sunscreen in my travel kit, because that's where it's really been for the most part. And then I was like, okay, I need another sunscreen to just be wearing here, like at home and stuff. Mostly because I like the finish. Like when I'm not wearing foundation or whatever because it's hot or I just don't feel like it, I like the finish that it has on the skin when you use it. And that's like maybe like a little bit of a weird thing, but it's just true for me. And I don't know, so I decided to try the Black Girl Sunscreen finally. 30 SPF, and it's been really good, really good. I wasn't sure what to expect from it, because I know some people said that the sunscreen is not that good, but in my experience so far it has been really good. Okay, so now we're getting into my favorite parts of the video. We're gonna talk about music. So I have been saying for the last couple months that I've been listening to the drums like it just came out yesterday, like the drums just came out yesterday. Abysmal Thoughts is the specific album I've been wearing out, still listening, still loving. I've been listening to Sexy Can I Radio, which, just really quickly, if you know, you know. So when I did have the Patreon, I made this video talking about how Ray J is like actually like a secret underlord of hip-hop, which is really crazy. It's really funny actually to me that he's like the secret underlord. Like, you would never expect him to be what apparently he really is, just because Ray J to me is so unserious, the way that Nick Cannon is so unserious, you know. But I love Ray J, and I think that's the hard thing about all of this that I'm coming to, is that I think I'm a Ray J fan. I think I'm a Ray J fan. Specifically the music, right? But also just I'm amused that he really is like this, like, I don't know, dark underlord of hip-hop. Anyway, I've been listening to Sexy Can I Radio. It's got a bunch of songs from when I was in high school on it. Like The Dream, Jay Holiday, like Soulja Boy. Like, it's got a lot of songs on there, and more songs from Ray J. Wait a Minute is one of my favorite ones. One Wish. It's a really good radio station actually, but it's very nostalgic. It definitely reminds me of when I was in high school, because it's like all the songs. 2006 to 2010 is when I was in high school. But yeah. I've been listening to Block Party, mostly because Block Party and Rico Nasty both did Tiny Desk NPR performances more recently. And I've always loved Block Party, but it was interesting watching them perform. I always forget that the lead singer is black, which is really funny to me because you don't see that too often. I didn't realize that they had a woman in the group, so that's kind of cool too. Just like a diverse band, but also the music is good, and Bing was good. Like I said, Rico Nasty, I've been listening to her new album. Forgive me, I forgot what it's called, but been listening to her new album, and there's lots of songs on there that I really like and have made it to playlists, because I just really love that she has this like cool balance of rap, or not rap, but like hip-hop and like screamo kind of emo music that feels also nostalgic to me, because I was definitely like an emo kid growing up. I don't know, I really love her music, and I love that she like dedicated songs to her son, and it's like very clear that, you know, she loves her baby. Just so good. I've been listening to the new Clipse album. I've been listening the heck out of that album. It is so good. It is so good. I think I talked about it actually in a vlog already, but you know, it's a little bit different for me because it's more of a rap album than it is like a hip-hop album. But meaning like when I think of hip-hop, I think of stuff that you can like dance to or whatever, like bouncy kind of up, like not cheerful, but like more just up toned music, where this was more like romance, serious, like rap, like you know what I mean. Yeah, I think By the Grace of God is probably my favorite song on the whole album, which I think is actually the last track on the album. But yeah, but that goes to tell you, like, I've been listening to it every day, and because it's a short album, sometimes twice. I listened to Tyler's Don't Tap the Glass album too, and I know that one had a little bit of controversy because somebody was like trying to have people make opinions about the art before it was like, it had only been out for maybe 10 hours or something like that, and people were trying to like put labels on it and try to categorize it and try to like kind of tear it apart. And it was like, people are putting out opinions before everyone has even heard it because it's only been out for 10 hours. Let stuff breathe, let stuff live. And that's kind of what Tyler said in response, like, let this shit like rock. It's only been 10 hours. But I listened to the album. My cousin didn't like it. I thought it was cool. I think I owe it another listen because I only pulled one song off to put it on my like hip hop playlist. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good, a solid piece of work. I think that it came out at a weird time because the Clipse album came out like a couple days before, and I think, you know, you can't control like what another artist is gonna do, but I think that people would have received it differently if it was spaced out some. But again, he can't control that. What have you been listening to? Let me know down in the comments. Do you ever like take any of these recommendations? Actually, I don't even know if these are recommendations. I'm just telling you what I've been listening to. But have you ever like gone and listened to anything I've suggested? Let me know. Let's talk about books. So I have books that I read and one book that I didn't finish. So the books that I read this month are You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, which I did a whole reading vlog on. Go check that out if you didn't watch it. That reading vlog actually really made me laugh. It was fun. It was actually a fun video to edit because I was just like laughing at myself reading this damn book. And actually my cousin just picked it up last night, so she can read it too. So I can have somebody to really discuss it with, you know what I mean? Really discuss it. Okay, Mexican Gothic. I wanted to like Mexican Gothic so bad, but it just didn't happen for me. I listened to it, first of all, and so I think that gave me a little bit more. I would have stopped reading it if I had the physical book, I can tell you that. There was just a lot of lead up. It's about a woman who's like sent to check on her, I think her cousin, because her cousin is sending like letters to the family like that seem kind of weird and nobody knows exactly what the problem is. So they like send this woman to like go check on her cousin to see what the hell is going on. Where she lives with her new husband and, you know, whatever, and it just was disappointing. It was disappointing to me that like the lead up, because you start to once the character gets there, like to the house with the cousin and stuff, you can immediately tell that there's something going on. Like, you know that there's something happening that you need to get down to. We need to get down to the bottom of it. Once that character gets down to the bottom of it, the lead up was super disappointing. I don't know. I would say that, oh, maybe it's not for me, because I usually don't read like thrillers or yeah, I don't usually read this type of this genre, creepy kind of stuff. Not that I wouldn't, but it's just that I've been really attracted to fantasy stuff lately anyway, or I don't know. I didn't like it. That's it. I listened to If Beale Street Could Talk. Now I remember a few years back when I watched the movie If Beale Street Could Talk, and I remember it being so romantic. I remember being like, this is one of the most romantic movies I've seen. Listening to it, I listened to it while I was traveling, and it was just as beautiful, but it was very beautiful, but it was very different. Like literally, you know, like they do say like the books and the adaptations of the books are usually night and day or something. Like that's kind of what it was giving. But also it was similar in a lot of ways, but it was like very, very different. The order of operations was different than I remembered, but the whole thing was just it was very beautiful, very beautifully written, very poetic. I loved it. I have the book here, and I've had the book here for a while, but I would always start and stop it. But listening to it was an experience. And I have one here, What You Gonna Do. I don't remember who wrote this, so I'm just gonna, hopefully I'll have the books up here. But I haven't started it yet, so I don't even know why I put it on this list. I am going to start it, but I haven't started it. I think I thought I would by now, so that's why it's here. So those are the books that I read-ish, because like I said, the last one shouldn't even be on this list. And then I actually did stop listening to Great Big Beautiful Life, just because it started to become too obvious what was going to happen, and I had already clocked some of the tea as soon as the book started. And then as I realized what the differences were, and I talked about this in the last vlog too, for sure, I already knew the trope, and then it did diverge a little bit, and I was like, okay, let me stay in some more. Basically it was about a journalist trying to prove that she's good enough to write this lady's story, and they started to actually tell parts of the lady's story, and I just didn't find it interesting. And that's the whole thing, right? When I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was a similar trope, but a journalist writing a story for this woman who was like famous or whatever, Evelyn's story, like Evelyn's actual story of how she had these husbands and stuff, was actually interesting. And then the journalist would go home and you get into her story, you know what I mean? And so like this book, Great Big Beautiful Life, from what I ended up listening to, and I listened to a good ass chunk of it and just could not get down, I couldn't get jiggy with it. Like her life was very vanilla, and the woman whose story she's trying to capture was just not interesting, so I just got out of there. And I just be wondering stuff about, like, is it that I just really need to read stuff from like Black authors? But then sometimes I do, and I don't like those either. Like, I don't know where I don't know, like I guess I'm just trying to still figure out what I like to read, you know what I mean? And I want to have like variety under my belt, but I'm still figuring out what that means. Or is it always going to be hit and miss no matter what you read? I don't know. TV shows and movies. This month I watched the whole first season of BMF, and I watched Woman in the Yard. BMF is good, baby, but I already knew what time it was when I saw that 50 Cent was the one behind it, because y'all know I was watching Power, and like all the Power, like I was in the Power universe for a minute there. I didn't finish. I think it was just that I didn't want to keep paying for Stars, because Stars is really just not that good. It's not that girl, and 50 Cent, like without 50 Cent they wouldn't be shit. Let's be serious. But BMF is good, and I'm tempted to get Stars just so I can find out what happens next. Yeah, very good. About a crime family show, about a crime family, a black crime family. Excellent. Woman in the Yard was ass. I will not be elaborating further. Okay, so I don't have anything written for pop culture chatter. I don't have anything written for pop culture chatter, so we're just gonna move on. Politics. I had this thought the other day. I was like, yo, the way that things is going right now, if they decided that they was going to return to sender all the Black Americans in this country, literally shit around here would be dry as hell. It would be so dry around here. We bring the flavor, we bring the entertainment, okay? We like literally the things that they just take from us or whatever. Who would they take from, if, you know? Or if we decide we're gonna get up and leave, you know what I'm saying? You see Sierra over here getting citizenship other places. I'm joking, y'all, I'm joking. I have to make jokes to keep from losing my mind at how wild things are getting. Yeah. Let the people of Gaza eat. I saw this this carousel on Instagram the other day, that the people in Egypt are now putting rice and baby formula in bottles, and like in hopes that they'll wash up on the shores of Gaza. And some of them are actually, it's working a little, but they shouldn't even have to do that. Let them people eat. It just feels so like helpless. Like, I think a lot of people are feeling helpless because it's not even up to us, but I think we all can agree that it's criminal. The other thing I was thinking about too, that somebody was like, you know, that's political. And I was like, I'm sure it is, because the air we breathe is political. The last 6 flights that I have taken somewhere have all at some point been delayed due to mechanical issues, right? The planes are falling apart, and that is like a lot of because of the regulations and stuff that we used to have in place that we don't anymore. It's a lot going on. They said a plane the other day just barely missed colliding into another plane and had to drop from like 500 feet in the air to like an abrupt landing to keep from hitting this other plane. Bitch, the air we breathe is political, which is why I have started like inserting the politics into this video. I didn't used to do that because literally the work that I do is political. That's really why we don't talk about super serious topics here, is because I come to the internet to get away from all that. You know what I mean? Like, different people come to the internet for different stuff, but I come to the internet to take a break from the things that I do in real life. You know what I'm saying? But also that we're getting to a point where it's like, you gotta talk about it sometimes. We gotta talk about it sometimes because it's getting real serious. Moving forward, trends and internet memes. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Darling, hold my hand. All right, that's all I got for you. The tea on me. Oh, but you know what though? Can I just say, Black people literally, like, we could take anything, a fucking brown paper bag, and make it fun and cool, period. That's what I'm gonna say on that, on the Jet 2 holiday trend. Okay, tea on me. Oh, okay, so back to talking about planes. So the other day I was gonna take a flight, and because this month I went to, where did I go this month? I went to North Carolina twice this month, and then I went to DC, and I want to say I went somewhere else. I can't remember now. But anyway, the plane. At some point they offered me to be able to like sit at the front of the plane for like only a couple $, or something like that, and I was like, you know what, I want to experience some shit, okay? I want to say I've had that experience. So let me go ahead and give them my little few dollars so I could try sitting at the front of the plane. So I sat at the front of the plane, and bitch, the way that the damn plane was bumping and jumping and everything up there, I was like, this is not relaxing and this is not luxury, girl. Not all that glitters ain't gold. Not all that glitters is gold, okay? Period. That's what I learned. Because I got to the front of that plane and I was like, oh no. And it was so funny because I told y'all I've been getting racially profiled in public lately. And the lady who sat, we had an empty seat between us. I always get a window seat because I like to be able to lean, especially because we're so like in tight quarters. At least I can lean. And so there was an empty seat next to me, and then there was this white woman, and she was wearing all white or whatever, and I could tell, I was like, oh, this is money right here. And she just kept looking over at me. I was like, oh, this lady want my ass gone. She want me gone, baby. But guess what, I'm here. But I was like, yeah, I will never do that again. I will never do that again. It wasn't fun, you know what I mean? I didn't feel that much luxurious sitting up there. It wasn't worth it. But at least I know now that was the whole thing. Oh, and the last thing I want to talk about, okay, so just like I was just saying the other day about like being a cutie and not a baddie, my cousin had, actually this kind of goes into pop culture a little bit, because my cousin had bumped into some videos talking about how some women are making that determination that they are girl pretty, which basically means that like you attract more women to you than you attract men, or you just really don't attract men, right? And she like sent it to me, and she was like, I think you're girl pretty, right? And not to be shady or anything like that. She wasn't trying to be shady, but it's just something that she knows that her and I have been discussing, like why men don't approach me, why men don't like me, like why, you know what I mean? And I know some of the reasons, right? Like I've been told even like some of the work that I do, like the work that I do for work is masculine work or whatever. And so like that's off-putting for people. You know, doing the people's work, fighting for freedom is masculine work. Yeah, so like, but I on a regular basis get compliments, get looks, get interactions that are positive, positively charged from other women way more than I ever do for men. I don't attract men. I don't but I do attract women. I am girl pretty, and this is really like an interesting concept to me because I don't date girls. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that, right? Like, I am in community with lots of women who date women. I'm just not one of them. So what do you do when you're girl pretty but you date men? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I can laugh at it because I don't care that much. You know what I mean? I'm super secure in my singleness. You know what I mean? Like, although I would, you know, if I met somebody, I would be super open to like seeing what's going on with that person or whatever, but it's not keeping me up at night that I'm single. You know what I mean? My eye just waters. It's been watering this whole video and now it's streaming down my face. Anyway, I'm super secure in my singleness, and that's why I can laugh and joke at this stuff. You know what I mean? But I do want to hear your thoughts on this, and if you've heard of it before, girl pretty, being girl pretty. These conversations are super interesting to me. And also, like what I was saying before is like, you know, sometimes my work gets really busy, and because I don't vlog about my work anymore, sometimes it's hard to like get these videos out in a timely fashion. And so that's been really hard for me because I need to find another editor because I just do not have time. And that's hard, and that costs money, and like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But sometimes being able to sit down and do a chit chat allows me to still like make my posting time and like keep myself up in the algorithm, because I'm trying to shake a little tail feather for the algorithm. But I don't always know what to talk about, you know what I mean? But some of these topics where I don't have to do much research and I can just like give you my thoughts and opinions, they're interesting to me. Not for everybody, but interesting to me. So anyway, let me know what you think about girl pretty. Let me know what you think about any of the other things that I dropped here in this video. I'm open to whatever. Let's chat. See you in the next one. Bye.
Go dumb to the beat, I'm dumb. Twiddle your thumbs so you see I'm from.